I want to thank Franklin Park Art Center today for inviting me to do a live demo. I can't thank you guys enough for keeping the arts alive in Loudoun County, and especially Percival, during this difficult time. Thanks for being here, everybody. So I'm going to give you a little bit of background of who I am, what I do as a local artist, and then do a demo of my painting. So first of all, welcome to the studio. You want to just take a little look around. You can see as a mixed media painter, I use a lot of different medium. We have everything here from oils to pigment powders to resins. And then around the studio, you'll see some of my work that I've been working on. I work in large format to small format encaustic paintings. If you don't know what encaustic is, it's a mixture of beeswax with a natural tree sap resin and some pigment to give it color. And when I apply encaustic, I apply it on board, so it's a rigid surface, because you wouldn't want a flexible surface like a canvas, otherwise the wax might crack. So some of my paintings here, as you can see, I'm a landscape artist. I like to focus most of my work on local Loudoun County scenery. I grew up in Fairfax County, but I've been in Loudoun County for now 20 years. I love it here. I love the beauty where we live, and I just feel like in my art, I need to express and glorify that beauty and share it with others. So we have some examples, all different sizes. Some of these were done when I'm part of the Loudoun Sketch Club, and we go out and do plein air painting. I come back and then work from photographs because I have to work flat, given the fact that wax will drip and move. I can't have it on an easel. So this space I use also to teach classes, and when things get back to normal again, I'll be teaching classes in encaustic. But let me show you what encaustic's all about. First of all, it's 2,000 years old, the medium itself. It was invented by the Greeks, and it was used to paint portraiture on wood panel, and then the antibacterial and antifungal qualities of beeswax, and then the resin is what keeps it hard and durable. So let me show you what that is. I order my beeswax in a purified form. You're probably familiar with beeswax being a honey color. I get it purified white, and so when I make my paint, I have to first heat up that wax, and I'm going to cook some here today for you, and I'll be working, we'll come back and see what happens. Now, if I worked with just beeswax, it would be too soft. The painting wouldn't last. You could easily nick it, or it might melt. Oh my gosh, can you imagine your painting melting? No, that doesn't happen with encaustic because of the resin that I use. It's natural tree sap called Damar, and it comes in little crystals like this, and then I crush it up in a coffee grinder basically and produce a powder. Now there's a special ratio, 1:8, mixing the resin with the beeswax. And so all I'm going to be doing is putting that in. And as this melts, the resin will dilute and mix in, as you can see. For you artists out there, if you try to make encaustic medium without first grinding it, it will take forever to melt this resin. So you see, this is going to produce a clear medium, and now I can add color to that to make my own paint. I do that by either using pigment powder, or I can use oil paint. I prefer pigment powder, it's a much more vibrant color, and I can put as much pigment as I want in there, depending on how opaque I want it. Now everything's nice and heated up to about 200 degrees, and that's what keeps the encaustic molten so I can work with it. Now if I were to take that off the heat, you can see it solidifies pretty darn quick. And how am I supposed to paint with that? There's no way. So what I need to do is reheat it to use it. So over here, I use a simple pancake griddle, and it's calibrated at 200 degrees or below to keep all my different encaustic paints melted. I use natural bristles because synthetic bristle brushes would melt. And then I also have this well-loved little plate here that I found at Blue Ridge Hospice, and I use this as a palette. It's a heated surface. You can see this is also heated to about 200 degrees. And I'm able to use that as a palette and mix my colors if I need specific colors to use. Okay, so how do we begin a painting? Now the wonderful thing about encaustic is that you can use all different kinds of mediums along with it. The only one you can't use is acrylic. Being an acrylic mixed media painter previously, I had to put my acrylics away and then dive into oils and pastels, wax pencil. There's all sorts of different mediums you can use, and in my classes I teach how to use each one along with the encaustic. So like I mentioned before, it needs to go on a sturdy board. This is just a piece of wood that was cut, a friend of mine cut up. I put some encaustic gesso on it, which has a little bit of grit to it, a little different than normal gesso. I've already put a clear coating, and that's clear encaustic medium to start. So now let me do a little landscape here, and I'm going to be working from this picture I took up in Maine where we have family, and it was a lovely summer day with a rocky beach and absolutely lovely. So let's start with making a sky. And my lovely daughter is filming today, and so Hannah, can you come in the back so you can film right over me? Thank you, dear. Okay, so you can see that I am putting on the encaustic paint. But can you see how it is immediately solidifying? And there's nothing I could do with that. I can't blend it, I can't do anything. So there's my little sky. And then I'm going to move on to making a little bit of a foreground here. And what I love about encaustic as well is the ability to, if I mess up, I can scrape it right off. I can build on the color. And you can see I'm kind of mixing several colors together all at the same time. All right, so that's not much. So to get this back to its molten state is when I bring in the blowtorch. An adjustable blowtorch, and I quickly go through very gently reheating that paint. And you can see it move and it becomes molten and it moves almost like honey. Absolutely gorgeous. I'm looking for a nice shine. That means it is well fused. And now I keep going. Now I may do this 150 times for a painting, but each layer that I apply has to be fused so that it becomes one solid piece. All right, now let's see. Let's do a little sky, a little bit of clouds. I'm going to show you what happens when we add this. And then I'm going to add some different medium just so you can see how that works on the base. Let's try, I don't know, let's try a little pastel. These are pan pastels. I absolutely love them. They go on like butter. And I'm just going to put in a little bit of trees here, a little bit of background. Now you notice I haven't fused yet. And I don't need to until I am ready to do that fusing for all one layer. Now I can use my hand actually to fuse the pastel a little bit so it doesn't look too chalky. And before I do anything to that tree line there, I need to fuse it. So here we go again with our wonderful blowtorch. And you can see, look how the clouds move, and they almost look like they're moving in the sky. Takes a little bit of practice there to know what heat level and how much to apply the heat directly to the surface. So that's going to be nice and hot there. I got to let that sit a little bit. Let's do something fun with the rocks. I understand I don't have much time left. So let's add, using a stencil, I'm going to add a little bit of rock here. You can see the encaustic, because it has some, I don't know what the word is. It has some texture to it. It will stay where you put it. Here's a little bit of rock formation. And let's do a little bit more down here, maybe in a lighter color. Again, we need a fuse. And boy, you gotta be quick when it comes to stencils because they'll just melt. And you won't have any definition at all. I'm gonna use another medium. This is a lot of fun. This is actually shellac, the kind of shellac that you would, shellac a piece of furniture with pigment added. And I'm going to apply that directly to the wax. And let's see what happens when we start that. Now I mentioned the hot gun. Here's an example. Now a hot gun, which is 500 degrees, will heat that shellac. But when it starts, now the shellac will basically solidify, but when that wax underneath it is heated, it will start to move. Come on, baby. There we go. And you can see how that pulls apart, making these very cool little cells. Now a quicker way, we're back to my favorite tool, the blowtorch. You can see how that shellac pulls apart and creates my little rock formations. Well, this is just the beginning of this painting, but I know my time is up, And I want to really thank you so much for joining us today. And I want you to know my heart goes out to all of you during this difficult time. Hang in there. We're all in this together. Be safe. And if you get a chance, follow me on Facebook or Instagram under Anne Stine Fine Art on Instagram and Anne Stine Studio on Facebook. And if you have a chance, sign up for my newsletter on my website. That way you would know where all my art shows will be coming and my classes in encaustic. So have a great day. Thanks again.